to me and his channel.
What's up, it's your boy LOE Visuals. I'm back with another video. How y'all night going? We grinding, late night grind. Before I start, make sure I smash the like button, turn the post notifications on, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 1K. We're grinding. Let's talk about it. I want to talk about Triple G. Is Triple G a Hall of Famer? If you guys don't know who Triple G is, Gennady Golovkin. I want to kind of, break down his resume and kind of give my insight on it. Because a lot of people might not agree with it, but, I can make room, to say he isn't. I mean, once you just break down his resume, I kind of got some of the things, on here. And it could be argued. I mean, he's 42-1, 2-1. 37 KOs. He turned pro in, I think it was May 2006. And, he was 30. He was 30 in his first fight in the USA. 30. And I'm not knocking him for being a late bloomer, but, I mean, the guy he fought in his first US debut, was a nobody. He was a Poland guy. But he was a nobody, in my opinion. I don't think much of him. If you guys do, let me know, please, so I can research him up and do my research on him. But I know Triple G had a lot of fights overseas, and in their first debut, he was at 30. So he was pretty experienced. And before his U.S. debut, he had already picked up the WBA interim title at middleweight against a guy named Milton Nunes. Do you guys know who Milton Nunes is? Be honest, let me know. You guys don't know who Milton Nunes is. That's no disrespect to him, and I still think in high regard, of Triple G, I still think he's a good fighter, but this resume can be broken down. No disrespect, He, in 2010, in the same year, he was elevated to regular champion. I don't know what he did, but he was elevated to regular champion. 2014, they elevated him to WBA super champion. Cool, he got a belt. He got the IBO. I wasn't even gonna discuss the IBO belt because I really don't even look at that as a belt. Is that a belt? Nick, you look at the IBO like it's a belt? I don't even, no disrespect. I don't look at the IBO as like a belt. He picked up the WBC. He fought Marco Antonio Rubio for the WBC. Vacant. It was a vacant. WBC interim against Marco Antonio Rubio. So he had the interim belt because at the time I think Canelo Alvarez had the title. No disrespect, but he wasn't even, the real champion. He just, fighting interim titles and getting elevated. And the only real title he got was against David Lemieux. He stopped David Lemieux. Everybody what? And I think David Lemieux is probably a decent name on his resume. David Lemieux might be a journeyman, or you guys can call him a journeyman. I think he's done enough to be considered a high-level guy in the sport. I can call David, with his punching power, I call him a decently, high, I wouldn't say like a high level as far as skill, but he's a main event guy. I can say that. But, he's picking up these scraps. He's not beating the champion. I mean, when Canelo got, stripped or whatever, and, he vacated the WBC, he got elevated to the WBC. And, he kind of had all the belts, but he didn't really, just beat anybody of world, getting to these scraps. No disrespect to, Triple G. The closest thing, I can say that I give him credit for is, that first fight with Canelo, if you want to edge him, I wouldn't be mad, because he controlled the fight with his jab. I think his jab really controls the majority of the fight. And, I wouldn't be mad if you gave him the Canelo fight. But if I'm not into more vigors, he lost. And since then, you know, the next 2 times he's lost to Canelo. If you want to give him credit for beating Sergey Devenchenko, Sergey Devenchenko was already beat before he fought Golovkin. If I'm not mistaken, Ryota Murata, I haven't heard of him. I haven't heard from him since, you know. So I think this resume can be broken down, you know. If I'm just how I'm looking at it, I think it can be broken down and, you know, dissected. You know, can you really question, is he a Hall of Famer? No disrespect to him. I think, you know, looking at this resume, I mean, he got some decent names on it, but the best name on his resume was Canelo, and he lost twice and he had a draw. I mean, if you give him credit for all the knockouts, I mean, he was knocking out bums. You know, he had, I think, 24 fights, you know, before he, you know, I think he had 24 fights before his U.S. debut. And he was 30 years old. So, come on, man. You know, you fighting all these overseas bums and knocking those guys out and getting credit for it, I guess. But those guys wasn't world class, you know. And we could talk about the guys he ducked. You know, Andre Ward. You guys remember when he ducked Andre Ward? When, you know, Abel Sanchez was like, that's G's trainer, I think. Abel Sanchez, I think that's his name. But Triple G's trainer was like, you know, we the baddest from it, you know, from 68 to 75, and you know, Andre Ward called his bluff. He wanted no smoke. No smoke from Andre Ward. And let's call a spade a spade. He wanted no parts of Andre Ward. That's no disrespect to him. I still think he's a alright, you know, fighter, but he didn't want no parts of Andre Ward. You know, he didn't fight Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade been calling him out for years. Same with Jamal Charlo. You know, he's passed on a few fights, you know, strictly to take losses and, you know, against Canelo. So, I mean, I can make an argument he's not a Hall of Famer, and that probably is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, but I mean, yeah, it's all right, it's decent, you know, and they let anybody in the Hall of Fame, but I mean, this is not really much to me. I mean, you got a lot of scraps, but the guys you were getting the belts from, I mean, they weren't world, you know. I think you fought that your first title, you know, WBA interim title, I think that was an overseas fight in like Panama. So I really can't just, you know, call him, you know, Hall of Famer. I mean, I don't know. I can definitely consider not calling him, but you know, he's probably gonna get in, and that's no hating. He's gonna get in, but the resume saying, I guess that's just how I feel. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. We can talk about it, dialogue about it, comment about it. Make sure y'all smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 1K subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. I love you guys so much. I'm out.